Hello, fellows. Thank you so much for this tremendous opportunity to be a part of a group that I have admired for years. Over the past 25 years, I have worked at one of the largest professional services firms in the world in Arthur Andersen as a strategy consultant. And I've worked in the smallest of AmLaw firms, as well as 3 other AmLaw firms in the role of Chief Strategy and Business Development Officer. In each of those stops, I leaned in to the idea of maximizing my firm's collective capabilities to be able to provide greater value to both clients and the firm, as well as to each professional. I call this collaborative growth. When I was young, I was influenced greatly by a mentor who told me that my purpose is to help the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time. So when the COVID crisis came, I ventured out and I started my own company called Credo, and it's dedicated to collaborative growth. And I spend most of my time helping law firms develop go-to-market strategies and structures, enhance the effectiveness of their teams and operations, as well as business development coaching. And you already know I do presentations at retreats and facilitations and workshops to help the change around, to instigate the change. If you want to know what I really like, my interests include barbecue and beer. So be ready, fellows, that if I ever come to your hometown, I'm going to ask you to take me to your favorite barbecue restaurant, and you have to recommend to me your favorite local IPA, because I love great conversations over barbecue and beer. And to finish up, I have to thank my family. And most importantly, I have to thank my Wonder Woman of a wife who is in the audience right now. She's a former AmLaw partner, as well as now she's a VP for a large company. She lives and breathes legal as we do. So it's a life thing for us. Last thing to my fellows, I hope each of us have the opportunity to be able to work together and collaborate to help the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time. Thank you again.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kathleen Pearson, and I am honored to be named a Fellow of the College of Law Practice Management. For over 2 decades, I've been at the intersection of talent, technology, and transformation in the legal industry. As the Chief Human Resources Officer at McDermott, Will & Emery, I lead a global team focused on shaping the future of professional development, well-being, and workforce strategy in Big Law. AI, workforce planning, and continuous learning aren't just concepts in my role, they're the foundation of how we evolve as an industry. I'm passionate about redefining performance feedback, upskilling professionals for the AI era, and ensuring that our workplaces are not just efficient, but human-centered. I truly believe the way we invest in people today determines the success of the legal profession tomorrow. When I'm not deep in strategy and innovation, you'll likely find me paddleboarding in San Diego, running marathons, or digging in my garden, because whether it's talent or tomatoes, I love seeing things grow. Thank you for this incredible honor. I look forward to contributing to this community and shaping the future of law practice together.
Hello, I'm Kate Simpson. I've recently switched jobs. I was in a law firm as a Chief Knowledge and Innovation Officer for 10 years, but I've switched to a consultant with firemen. I'm based here in Toronto, Canada, but as you can hear from my accent, I've not always been here. London, England in the 1990s was an epic time to be in my 20s, just starting out in my career. We had the Spice Girls, Britpop, we had a new government, we had the Good Friday Agreement, and this thing called the World Wide Web. Plus, I'd just married my soulmate. It was turning out to be a fab decade, but I wanted to be a lawyer so badly. Richard Susskind had just published his book as I was graduating, The Future of Law, and I was so excited to join this forward-thinking and innovative profession. I'm still waiting. But I literally thought back then that my life was over when I didn't get an articling position. All my friends who did made their jobs photocopying and manual blacklining sound brilliant. And so I was very upset. I was bereft. Until a startup saved me. I joined a tiny online legal publishing company that was single-handedly disrupting the giants of legal publishing. They were using their websites to sell CD-ROMs. We were figuring out information design, findability, and usability. Back then, this is how I thought about the world. I was somewhere in this beautiful middle of legal design and technology. We called it legal user experience. Now, a common phrase. It wasn't until the 2000s, however, that I really found my home in knowledge management. Two innovative firms that I got to work for wanted to pool their knowledge and expertise, and so we built the very first KM systems. And suddenly, I was super happy that I hadn't got that articling position, and that was 20 years ago. KM and the buzzy innovation that surrounds it is still my home. My Venn diagram now, however, looks more like this. This is how I problem solve. People, process, technology, and that all-important content, which our firms are basically built upon. So now I'm applying that startup spirit and problem-solving obsession at Fireman. 2025 is turning out to be just such a great year. I have a new job and I get to join this College of Brilliant Minds. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Karen Dunn-Skinner. Welcome to my painting studio. I actually thought this would be a more fun location than to meet in my office. I help lawyers build practices, businesses, and lives that they love. There's actually a big sticky note in my office that says, I've never met an unhappy ex-lawyer, and I'm committed to changing that. I want attorneys to be happy in their law practice. I want them to have time to focus on all the things that really matter to them. I want them to earn more money without working longer or harder, so they have time to enjoy that success. And the key is to create systems and processes that allow them to delegate work to others and automate as much as possible. Happiness is also a huge part of success. It's really important to me that the lawyers that we work with design businesses that give them a lot of professional and personal satisfaction. I was a lawyer myself for over 20 years, but for more than a decade, I've been working with people who want to deliver their legal services more efficiently, more profitably, and more productively. There's a lot of waste in the way that we practice law, and that inefficiency, that makes legal work a lot harder than it needs to be. Together with my partner, David, we eliminate waste, and we ensure that the right people are doing the right work the right way. This is actually a foundational premise of the book that we wrote last year called The Power Zone Playbook for Lawyers. When you're working in your power zone, you're doing work you are uniquely qualified to do, you're doing work that you love, and you're doing the work that adds the most value you can add to your organization. When lawyers spend more time in their power zones, they go from feeling overwhelmed to feeling in control. They go from this practice is breaking me, like one of our clients told us, to I am so lucky I get to do this every day. And that's really what gets me out of bed every day. I'm thrilled to be part of the College of Law Practice Management and have the chance to work with you to make our profession even better for the people who are in it.
Hi all, I'm Lawton Penn. Thank you so much for inviting me into the college. I'm truly honored. So starting with a little bit about me, I'm going to use fun facts that you're more likely to remember and find interesting than anything about my professional path. I am a Seattle native, have 4 daughters, ages 20 to 31 between my husband and myself. I love being active, play a ton of tennis, hike, I ski, I walk, I do a lot of gardening, and then I do a lot of hot yoga so that I can actually get up and move in the mornings. I've run 3 marathons, jumped out of an airplane. Random fact is that I shook hands with serial killer Ted Bundy in 1972 when he came to our family home for cocktails, and was part of a hypnosis experiment at college when I was there. I've written a memoir. It's in the proofing stage. Nobody has read it. Not sure anybody ever will, but the process has been fascinating. Professionally, I'm now at Amazon Legal. I have collected kind of an array of responsibilities in the 7 years I've been here. So I lead the team that manages our outside counsel spend and budget management process. I also lead our legal business operations team and our global law enforcement response team. Finally, I have litigation and regulatory operations as well, including e-discovery, and we provide kind of all the staffing and technology and programmatic support for our litigation portfolio. Prior to that, I was at Davis Wright Tremaine for 27 years, a large law firm. I started as an employment litigator, and the tail end of my career there, I was leading our legal services design team called DWT De Novo. Really look forward to meeting all of you and getting to know you better. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Roberta Tepper. I'm the Chief Member Services Officer for the State Bar of Arizona. One of the programs my team is responsible for is one that is near and dear to my heart, our practice management program. Even though I'm not directly in charge of the program anymore and someone else is answering those calls, after 8.5 years of a more hands-on role, practice management is still one of my passions. I've been with the State Bar for almost 21 years, first as a disciplinary counsel, the lawyer other lawyers love to hate, and then for the last 11.5 years, I've been part of the member services team. I've also been a criminal prosecutor in North Carolina and worked in court management for the Superior Court of Delaware. I am a giant nerd. Just give me a book, a jigsaw puzzle, or almost any of the New York Times array of puzzles, and I'm a happy camper. As you may be able to tell from my background, I love collecting interesting arts and crafts. I am sort of a foodie, but there are definitely some things I won't eat. Reading, movies, and needlework keep me sane, well, with a generous dose of Friends or Big Bang Theory reruns, and I do practice mindfulness every day. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you in the coming years, and thank you for welcoming me.
Hello, College of Law Practice Management. I'm Stephanie Wilkins, and I'm the Director of Content at Legal Tech Hub. Some of you I've known since my law school days, others I've only met more recently, and there are some of you I still have yet to meet, which I'm very excited to do, because I am so excited to be joining the college, and I can't wait to connect with all of the other fellows-elect and current fellows in person. Hopefully I'll be seeing you in DC. A little bit about me. I've been in the legal industry since the early 2000s in a number of different roles. You could say I'm a master of reinvention. I started as a big law litigator in New York, which I did for about 8 years until my first retirement. My friends and I often still debate how many retirements I've had at this point. I say the number is around 4, but it's still up for debate, and we shall see. I don't have any planned anytime soon, though, so that's good. I've been writing about legal technology either way, though, since about 2010, although many of you probably didn't know my name for most of that time since I was much more behind the scenes. I really started getting to know people in the industry during my last few years as a legal tech journalist, first for Legal Tech News at ALM and now for Legal Tech Hub, which is really exciting. In a bit of serendipity, I started my journalism career about 2 months before OpenAI released ChatGPT, and the rest is history. I've been closely following the rapid evolution of Gen AI and legal tech ever since. But I will admit that I have always been a nerd at heart. I was designated as one of 2 whiz kids in my first grade class in 1983 who could help the other kids learn how to use the brand new, shiny, giant computer we got in our classroom. Then I only had to bide my time for about 40 years until I was in the right place at the right time for my current career, and the nerds are finally the cool kids thanks to Gen AI. Seriously though, I love talking about tech, AI, and innovation, and I look forward to the discussions we can have in the college about how these things are impacting the future of our profession. When I'm not thinking about law and technology, which some might argue is not often enough, I'm an avid solo world traveler and was a digital nomad before there was a term for it. I'm also a professional photographer and a boxer in training, 2 things that I'm trying to work back more into my regular schedule in 2025. So far, so good. Finally, I'd like to say congratulations to all my fellows-elect, and a huge thank you to my nominators, and a massive thank you to the college for including me in such a great group of brilliant minds. I'll see you all soon.